everyone, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're going to be going through all of the systems that are coming with me to 2026. Now, I was very excited to make this video. I had a very thorough idea in my head, and then we got hit with this massive storm in California. And I'm actually saying massive because this is not normal for Southern California or California in general. We get rain, a little bit of drizzle, but this is a little intense. So I decided that today was the perfect day for it. I'm excited to show you guys the systems, and I just want to kind of go through why I've chosen them. I've tried them all throughout the year. I feel like they are the best when it comes to ADHD. So I'm going to show you guys right now. If you're new here, hi, my name is Yessie. I teach people how to manage their homes while dealing with depression, anxiety, and ADHD. As always, these tips and tricks can be utilized by anybody. I also recommend these for anybody who deals with autoimmune diseases, Hashimoto's, anything that is going to lower your energy. I absolutely recommend these because, as we know, unfortunately, life keeps going and it can be really hard to manage, especially when you are a mom, a working home person, you have kids at home. There's just so much something going on. And I just want to make your home the least part of your worries. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I'm really excited to show you guys is kind of like a medicine cabinet that is not in the bathroom or restroom area. I decided to put this actually in the kitchen because it is a very well-known, accessible area for anybody who is in the house. I have first aid, prescriptions, I have supplements, everything is labeled and ready to go. And I purposely chose non-clear bins because I didn't want my children to just go in there and maybe grab things they're not supposed to. But I did want other people to be able to find things, especially if maybe the grandparents are home or somebody needs to get a hold of something. It is easily accessible and not tucked away and hidden. I always mention these things when it comes to ADHD, out of sight, out of mind. The second system is also in the kitchen, and this is about minimal but yet usable space when it comes to plates and cups. I always tell people that you should only maintain the cups and the plates that you're actually going to need in your family. There is going to be, a number of mugs and a number of cups, and I know this may seem extreme to some people, but again, the more you have, the more you manage. And ultimately, when you have low energy, when you're in a depressive mode, when you're having anxiety, or when your ADHD is at its worst, we all know that too much can be very overwhelming. This is why our sinks end up incredibly full. This is why we don't empty the dishwasher, or sometimes there's dishes everywhere. The least you have, the more you can manage. And over time, this is going to be a much easier, simple system than you may think. Same thing applies for cups and mugs. The least amount, the better. And I know this is one of the hardest parts, especially when it comes to mugs. We tend to get really attached to these things. So I always tell people it's better to have only what you can manage. Now I have little kids and they have their little sippy cups and containers, and I like to make sure that I utilize containers, bins, to be able to contain them. I don't want to have them all over the place. I want to make sure that every section that I have acts as a maximum potential space. And this just means that if I have more than what fits in this container, it's no longer doable and I have to declutter it. The third system is going to be shoes, and I've shown this before in other videos, but having a cubby designated by the door with shoes and maybe a basket with socks is the best way to go, especially with a family with children, because often or not, they can't find their socks, the shoes are everywhere. But if you have a go-back system, which basically tells them where everything should go, especially if you have children with ADHD, this is going to minimize any stress that they go through or you go through. My most recent system is in the laundry room, and I've just designated a basket for everything and everyone. I'm using these replaceable labels because I can easily take them off and on of the baskets. I don't have to worry about these sticky labels. They're just going to go in there, and I'm going to put the names of whoever this belongs to. This will make literally laundry day tenfold easier. I'll just put everything in there, and the kids will know where to go look for their clean clothes, and they can go ahead and put it away. And then when it's dirty, then I come back and clean it. Another system that I recommend is a command center, or an area where your mail, your printer, your calendars are going to be. The command center should be basically all of your paperwork for your family, the mail that comes in, anything that needs to be printed, and the calendar that shows the bills that need to get paid. This area should really just be for grown-ups, but we can also make a command center for children where they leave their backpacks, where they put their shoes or uniforms or paperwork that needs to be go through by the parents before it goes back to school. Now, if you have children at home, then something like this is going to be a go-to. I got these from IKEA. They have different styles, but what's great about them is that you can store both small and big items, and your kids can technically still see what toys are in there. I always recommend something like this for a child that has ADHD because they can easily grab the basket and just put things away. I have to say there is still a good chunk of systems that I wish that I could implement now before the end of the year, but quite frankly, I am cutting it way too close. I am, however, making a plan for every section in the house to have a more productive and easier to manage system that I look forward to sharing with you guys. I am going to be creating systems for toys, systems in the garage, systems for, cars and car items that you might want to keep, especially for moms. I know as a busy mom with sports and everything, there's always something being tossed around in the car and it gets messy. So I'm hoping to create those going into the new year. This is probably going to be my last semi-long format video for the year, so I will see you guys next year. I hope everyone has a beautiful holiday and a wonderful end of the year, and that we welcome the new year with nothing but positive things to happen to us. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.